Hello friends! Today I'm so excited to be filming one of my favorite videos each month, which is new Cozy Mystery releases. This one is for September and we have 26 new Cozy Mystery releases. So this is going to be a doozy. So let's hop right in. I do have some animations scattered throughout this video that I did to kind of bring the stories to life, at least how they kind of appear in my head. So this first one has a really fun theme. It's a sewing cozy mystery and it's called A Shear Terror. This is by Dorothy Howell and this is coming out on September 24th, 2024. And it's book 3 within the Sewing Studio Mystery. Takes place in small town Hideaway Grove, California. So I've been really getting into more fashion, boutique, sewing mysteries recently, so if you had any recommendations, let me know. But this cozy mystery has really caught my eye. This one takes place in Hideaway Grove, and newcomer Abby, she's got an entrepreneurial spirit, but she's still kind of learning and getting her sewing prowess all fixed up. She's got a small sewing studio in the back room of her aunt's bakery, but she feels very stuck. She plans to expand her custom tote bag business by selling to a chain of gift shops. But this has hit a snag, and making enough totes to distribute to all the stores requires large-scale production, which requires money Abby doesn't have. So she decides to take a part-time job at the town's bustling visitor center. While she's sorting items with her co-workers for the visitor center's annual Lost and Found Day, when unclaimed items are displayed and offered for sale, thanks to the tourism, there's enough to fill a huge stockroom, but something is amiss. Eleanor Franklin, devoted to all things Hideaway Grove, hasn't shown up for work, and when Abby discovers her whereabouts, it isn't pretty. She's found inside a clothing bin, and unfortunately, the shears that killed her are actually engraved with Abby's name, so she is under suspicion. And she's trying to figure out who would want to kill this lovely lady because she's a model resident. She always had a lot of goodwill and good advice for Hideaway Grove, and unfortunately not everyone appreciated Eleanor's advice. So Abby's going to have to follow a trail of greed, theft, and revenge to sew up the case before a killer cramps her style for good. If you've read this series, let me know how it is because it just looks so good and I really want to read it. Next we have a cozy mystery series I've been meaning to get to. I will get to it, but it's by Byron. This is called French Quarter Fright Night. This is a vintage cookbook. It is book 3 within the series. This is coming out on September 3rd and it takes place during the Bon Viville Festival of Fear. So this one is so many amazing things. It's Halloween in New Orleans. And our main character, Vicki, works at this culinary museum and she runs like the gift shop with like cookbooks and vintage cookbooks that she sells there. She's less than thrilled when a former friend and movie star now moves into this mansion next door with his big entourage, and his former assistant ends up dead. And the whole staff at the culinary museum is under suspicion. The police are trying to interrogate all of them, and there's just a lot of drama, so Ricky gets involved trying to solve the case. I mean, come on, Halloween, New Orleans, vintage cookbooks? I need to get to this series so badly. It's burning in me right now. Next we have a Christmas cozy. This is called Death of a Gingerbread Man. It's a Haley Powell mystery, book 17 in the series, written by Hollis, and it's coming out on September 24th, 2024. So this takes place in Bay Harbor, Maine. Our main character is Haley, and she's got a lot going on. Like a lot of us, the holidays are crazy for her, and she is so shocked when her father arrives, and she and her father don't have a close relationship, and he hasn't been in the picture since she believed in Santa Claus. So she is really disconnected with her father. They do not have a relationship. It's tense. Well, unfortunately, he is accused of a murder and she gets involved trying to solve the case, all while trying to settle family drama and plan a massive New Year's Eve bash. So Haley has got her work cut out for her. I love this cover. It looks so cozy and cute, and what's not to love about a Christmas cozy? Our next cozy is by Ellie Alexander, and this is from her new book series, which I'm so excited for. I just recently got book 1 and 2 in this series in a book haul, which I'll link above if you want to check it out. But this one is called Death at the Dinner Party, and this is book 3 in the series, written by Ellie Alexander, and it's coming out on September 30th, 2024. Our main character is Annie Murray, and she is a bookseller, and she also kind of hosts events. So in this one, she's hosting a murder mystery themed dinner party. So her friend Penny confesses that she's struggling to finance the restoration of the historic Wentworth farmhouse, and Annie is really inspired because the beautiful property has been empty since the 70s. But there's all these rumors about the eccentric Wentworth family and their hidden fortune. So she thinks it's the perfect setting for a spooky murder mystery dinner. And the evening is a huge success until a neighboring landowner ends up dead at the dining table. Now Annie knows she didn't add arsenic to the entree, so who messed with her catering and why? Everyone in the party had some reason to hate this renowned bully, not least of all Penny, who was under pressure to sell land to him. So Annie realizes she's going to need to clear her friend's name fast. So she's quickly uncovering long-buried family secrets, shady business deals, and pitch-black hidden passageways. I'm so excited to start this series. I need to read it ASAP. It's on my TBR shelf. I'm really excited. If you enjoy a spellbinding, enchanting cozy, this next one is for you. It's part of the Kitchen Witch mystery series, book 6 in the series. It's called 6 Stunning Sirens, and it's by Lynn Cahoon. This one is coming out on September 24th, 2024. So our main character in this is Mia, and she's a kitchen witch, and she also runs some kind of catering and cooking business. And her business, Mia's Morsels, is actually chosen to cater this big harvest festival that's really important for this Idaho town. I don't actually think I've read an Idaho cozy before. Let me know if you know of any, because now I'm really curious. So she's actually put in charge of managing this festival, which means handling a bunch of stage moms and their social media obsessed daughters, and dealing with the stress from the witch community, because the witches, I guess they vote in their new coven leader for the next year at this festival during the harvest moon. So everything is going okay until one contestant is found in a compromising position with a judge. Not great. And another person drops out of the contest after her mother is killed in an accident. But the coven suspects there's some magical interference, so Mia gets involved in the case. I haven't personally read this series, but if you like supernatural cozies, this sounds really just interesting. I like the way it's set up. And Idaho, I can't think of any Idaho cozies. I really need to look into that. Coming out on September 24th, we have another Christmas cozy mystery. This one's called Silent Nights Are Murder, a Poppy McAllister mystery. And this is by Libby Klein, and it takes place at a B&B in Cape May. So it sounds like in the previous book, ever since Thanksgiving, there was some kind of unlabeled engagement box, engagement ring box that's left behind that might be for Poppy. We're not really sure, but things are kind of starting to slow down a little bit as they approach Christmas, until a local fish supplier's body is found dead, and unfortunately it's near her ex's restaurant. So this brings up a lot of confusion, and on top of that, Poppy is the one who finds the body, and there's a note on the body that says "Get Poppy." So she's immediately concerned, and the police actually ask her to go undercover in her ex's restaurant to help them find clues to help them solve this mystery. Before this, all she was worried about was Figaro, her cat, eating the bird ornaments off the tree, but now she's got a few bigger issues. So how cute is his name, Figaro? That cat looks so cute on the cover. He looks so I just want to squish him. He looks adorable. This next one is from a series that I'm not familiar with, but it sounds cute, and if you like inns for your cozy setting, you might really like this one. This one comes out on September 30th, and it's called Real Trouble. It's a Gray Whale Inn, book 11 within the series, written by MacInernery. And this takes place with innkeeper Natalie Barnes. And Natalie is very busy trying to help her niece Gwen, who has just recently had a baby, and just a lot going on there. And then a movie film production team arrives at her inn because they want to film a historical murder mystery. I love this theme so much when there's a murder mystery theme to the murder mystery. Love it. And it's going okay until one of the cast members ends up dead, and then the nosy islanders and the news reporters and everyone is just showing up at the inn because they want to know what's what, and then it's discovered that the cast member was poisoned, and Natalie gets involved in the case. Again, I haven't read this series, but I do really like an island cozy, so this one is definitely on my TBR for series. Coming out on September 24th, we have a little bit of a different cozy mystery. This is actually a cozy fantasy, but it's also a cozy mystery. So if you like fantasy and cozy mysteries, this one's for you. It's called Perils and Potions, a cozy fantasy novel. This is The Weary Dragon Inn, book 9 within the series by S. Usher Evans. So our main character in this is Bev, and she is an amnesiac innkeeper in this fantasy setting, and there's a harvest festival coming up, and the town people want this to go off without a hitch. It's really important to them, and everyone knows that if Bev is in charge of things, it should go off without a hitch and no hijinks. But then a farmer is found dead, and this doesn't look too good. she starts to kind of look into things, but then another murder happens and she realizes that this is much bigger than some like squabbles between like neighbors or something like that, and something deeper is going on at the Harvest Festival. Just wanted to throw that in there. Let me know if you also like cozy fantasy. It's something I'm kind of dabbling in a bit, and I love it when it has like a mystery like this. Okay, this is one of my most anticipated ones from this whole list because the theme is to die for. It's a diner cozy mystery. It's called Diners, Drive-Ins, and Lies, a Sunny Side Up mystery, book 1 in the series by Misty Simon, and this is coming out on September 10th. So welcome to the Sunny Side Up diner where the pancakes are fluffy, the bacon is crisp, and murder should not be on the menu. Our main character, Jax Tapman, has lived in the same small town her whole life. Now on one hand, it's helped her dream of buying the local diner with her best friend, and their newly opened business is hopping, but it also means that everyone knows her and she never gets away with anything because she's the town darling, everyone knows her, all eyes are on her basically. So when she finds a dead body behind her Aunt Hildy's restaurant, surely no one's gonna think she did it, right? Because everyone likes her. Wrong. Unfortunately, the victim was strangled with swag from Jax's diner, and all eyes are on her, regardless of whether she's the town darling or not. However, another person, Elliot Taylor, who is Aunt Hildy's new cook and a former cop, begrudgingly agrees to help Jax clear her name and save the diner's reputation. Only the deeper they dig, the more dirt they churn up, proving there's far more happening in the small innocent town that meets the eyes. The cover on this is so cute, and there's just something about diners that make my heart so happy. So this one immediately drew my eyes. If you like a coffee cozy, this next one is for you. It's called Killer Coffee Corruption, a killer coffee mystery, book 15 in the series. This is by Tonya Kappes, and it's coming out on September 5th, 2024. It's described as Southern hospitality with a smidgen of homicide. Our main character in this is Roxy, and she's preparing her shop, the Bean Hive, for this upcoming fall festival. This one involves the Friendsgiving Harvest Festival, and one of the dogs in this festival actually comes across a body that's dressed up as a scarecrow, which is so disturbing. That just good detail, but really disturbing. And Roxy is now all over the place trying to keep up with customers, cozy treats, cappuccinos, and this harvest festival. Plus, there's some strange notes near the body that implicate one of the judges or like have something to say about them that kind of makes people look at the judge differently. So that's kind of interesting. Plus, there's a strange pen and a cryptic note near the body that kind of point to or implicate a sponsor for the festival, which kind of raises some eyebrows. So that's the quick short synopsis for that book. I thought this one sounded really cute, and I love the idea of a Friendsgiving festival. If you like historical cozies, this one's for you. This one's called Death in the Mayfair Hotel, a Cressida Facet mystery. It's book 6 in the series by Fliss Chester. And this is coming out on September 13th, 2024, and it takes place during Christmas Eve, 1925. So I love this for so many reasons. One, 1920s, Christmas Eve, and it's an isolation mystery. Our main character is Cressida, and she is dancing the night away at this really like luxury hotel. It's fun, it's beautiful. She also has her pug, Ruby. I love pugs, so this made me really happy. And she goes outside to get some fresh air when she notices that her best friend is being proposed to. But instead of a delighted yes, her best friend lets out a scream because she notices that one of their friends is like dead in the fountain. And when they come closer to her body, they realize that she has been murdered. They call for the police, but there's a big snowstorm and they're all trapped there. So our main character tries to sleuth around and figure out what happened. Was it her husband who was maybe jealous because there were rumors about an affair? Was it somebody else? Who did it? There's a pug in this. Makes me so happy, and they're all cut off in the snowstorms. This is like the perfect winter cozy. Coming out from Lush, we have Cattitude and Charms, a Crescent Moon mystery. It's book 4 in the series, and this is coming out on the 13th. So our main character in this is Amelia, and she has some kind of supernatural abilities. She purchases this like cat cookie jar, not thinking much of it, but apparently it's like somehow linked to the previous owner and their cat familiar. So Amelia, along with her cat familiar, Freddie Perkery, I couldn't say that with a straight face, that's so cute, try to solve this mystery around the previous owner and their legacy. This is a novella that's part of the series, so I'm not sure if there's actually like a murder, but there's some kind of mystery about the previous owner of the cookie jar. So I wanted to include that because it looked like a really fun, kind of spooky one for Halloween or the fall season. Stars Hollow meets Halloween Town in this next cozy mystery. This is another kind of cozy fantasy, cozy mystery. It's called Gloom Hollow, Toil and Truffle, a Gloom Hollow cozy cozy witch mystery, book 1 in the series by Jane Lenore, and it's coming out on the 17th. So I love Gilmore Girls, so the fact that this described it as Stars Hollow meets Halloween Town sold me. But our main character is a witch, and she lives in this small mountainous town, and there's lots of different magical creatures like werewolves, vampires, etc. And a murder strikes in their town, and so she does what she does best, and she meddles along with her magical friends. So that is the quick synopsis for this one. It looked really fun and cute. Next we have a culinary cozy mystery. This one is called Poison and Pudding, a seaside French patisserie mystery. It's book 2 in the series by Bellmore, and this is coming out on the 15th. So this takes place in Starlit Ridge with 2 retirees, and it's their first annual surfing competition in the town. So retired sisters Joe and Dorothy Darby are finally getting settled into their new bakery. They're not willing to miss out on the fun, and they, along with the rest of the town, close up shop for the day to support the local surfing champion, Isaac Larson. Foam fingers included. But when Isaac's arch rival is flung off his board and never resurfaces, the competition grinds to a halt. Upon recovering the body, the local doctor discovers the fall was no accident and the man was murdered. So all eyes turn to Isaac, who is the competition essentially. And the town turns to the Darby sisters to discover what really happened, considering the sisters' history of solving murders, and expects them to exonerate the local hero. So Joe and Dorothy take on this seemingly impossible task, and they're really concerned because if they can't discover who the real murderer is, a cancelled surfing competition will be the least of Isaac's problems, and the sisters will bear the town's blame for it. And this is described as a great cozy for people who enjoy small towns, quirky characters, and unusual murders. This one looked really cute. I love the idea of a French patisserie. Next we have one by the very popular Richard Osman, who's the author of like the Thursday Murder Clubs. This one is a new series called We Solve Murders, and this one involves like a father-daughter duo. It's coming out on the 17th. So Steve is a retired investigator, and he's really enjoying retired life, spending more time with family, going to the pub, doing puzzles. He's done with the adrenaline. He leaves that to his daughter, who is actually a private security guard, and right now she's working on this exclusive island with this mega rich, like really famous author, and things are going well until a bag of cash and a dead body show up on the island, and she reaches out to the only person she knows can help her, her dad. I love a good family like sleuthing duo, so this one really caught my attention. For those of you that like paranormal ones, this one has the cutest cover. It's called A Spirited Reckoning, and it's a Midlife is Murder series, and this is book 7 in the series by Clare Lockheart, and this is coming out on September 24th. Our main character in this is Quinn, and she has some kind of supernatural ability. Her best friend is getting married. She's really excited, but she can't help but feel stressed out because her cafe is being haunted by this egocentric dead book podcaster who's like a true crime podcaster, and he's haunting the cafe. And shortly after this, Bookend Bay's chauvinistic bookstore manager ends up dead, and Quinn gets involved in the mystery. Throw in her twin, who is very otherworldly, and things get a little crazy and kooky. This one looks so perfect for like Halloween and this time of year. For the cat lovers out here, we have one by Sofie Kelly. This one is called Forever After, a magical cats mystery. It's book 16 in the series, and it comes out on the 3rd. So our main character in this is Kathleen, and she is a librarian, and she is getting ready to get married. She's very excited, but she stumbles across the body of a man who was trying to pull off this unlikely heist of some of the library's artwork, but she's really confused because the artwork shouldn't be valuable. Well, the police take a closer look at it, and they discover that the artwork is linked to maybe a previous like robbery or heist. So maybe the man was trying to get his hands on it to cover a crime up. I don't know, something like that. Kathleen's 2 magical cats, Owen and Hercules, their little, whiskers are twitching, and they are ready to help her solve this mystery. This is a magical cat mystery, so the cats are very much a large part of the plot for the series. This next one is from a favorite series of mine, and it's the Scottish Shire mystery series by Traci Hall. This is called Murder at a Scottish Christmas, and it's coming out on September 24th, 2024. It takes place in a charming seaside town in Scotland and features busy single mom Paisley Shaw, who owns a specialty sweater shop, and she's a knitting enthusiast. And in this one, all she wants for Christmas is for her new home to be finished, but it looks like she'll have to wait for New Year's Day. Whether the paint on the walls has dried or not, she's going to host a feast for her 12-year-old son Brody, Grandpa, their black Scottish Terrier Wallace, and friends, including the police station receptionist Amelia Henry and her brother McCormick, whose black locks can fulfill the Scottish first-footer tradition that a tall, dark-haired man should be the first person to enter your home on New Year's to bring good luck. Unfortunately, McCormick's luck is about to run out. During Hogmanay, when the Scots welcome the new year with dancing, bonfires, and midnight fireworks, he collapses as the sky brightens in a blaze of color. A shooter used the noise of the fireworks to hide a gun's blast, and Amelia is absolutely besides herself, so Paisley vows to do whatever she can to help the detective in town solve the murder, even if it puts her in the killer's sights next. I love Paisley. She's absolutely such an awesome character, a really cool character. I love the family ties in this one, the Scottish setting. It's one of my favorites. Camera died, so I'm back a few hours later. So we have 5 more cozy mysteries. This next one is it's a series I'm dying to start, and I will start this holiday season. And that is the year-round Christmas cozy mystery series by Vicki Delaney. It's book 7 in the series. This is called A Sleigh Ride Together with You, and this is coming out on September 24th, 2024, and it does take place with Easter weekend approaching. So the main character, Mary Wilkinson, works in Rudolph, New York, which is so perfect, and she owns like a shop, like bakery it sounds like, and her friend is actually getting close to getting married. She's only a couple weeks away from her wedding. She's super excited. Her fiance and her move into this nice home with some haunted rumors, it sounds like, and unfortunately they come across a dead body, and her fiance is accused by the current detective. So her friend asks Mary to step in and clear her fiance's name, because obviously this is like not good news right before your wedding, and she's really stressed out. They are coming upon Easter weekend, the wedding, and she has a bakery to run, so Mary's got her hands full, but she's gonna figure it out. I've heard that this cozy mystery series has the best Christmassy vibes, like right up there with the Christmas Tree Farms by Jacqueline Frost, so I just need to dive into this. This next one has the cutest cover and cutest title ever. It's called The Grim Steeper, a witch's brew mystery. It's book 3 in the series by Gretchen Rue, and it's coming out on September 10th. Our main character in this is Phoebe Winchester. She is an amateur witch. In the first book, she kind of discovers her powers. I actually, not a big supernatural cozy fan overall, but really enjoyed book 1, and I have book 2 behind me, so I'm really excited to read that. But in this one, she's just opened Earl's Study, which is a book and tea shop. Right up my alley, and she's having her first big author event, and this author is a birder. I think I'm saying that right, but he talks about birds, and he is actually going to lead people on like this bird walk the next day to prove that this believed to be extinct bird is not extinct. But his body is discovered, and now Phoebe is trying to figure out what happened to this poor man, trying to clear her shop's name, because obviously having your author killed for their first like author event at your store is not good, and also to find out maybe this bird does exist, and how cute is the cat on the cover. Next we have a kind of Christmassy and New Year's one, because the main character is Mrs. Claus. This is Mrs. Claus and the Nightmare Before New Year's, a Mrs. Claus mystery by Liz Ireland, and it's coming out on September 24th, 2024, and it is the 5th within the Mrs. Claus mysteries. And this reminds me of the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen. I think it's the 3rd movie where he gets married and his in-laws come into town, and they have to like make the North Pole like normal to kind of fool them. And this is what this is basically. So Mrs. Claus is really excited because the week after Christmas, like leading up to New Year's, she usually gets to relax with her husband Nick, aka the real Santa Claus, and she's really excited about this until he brings home on Christmas Eve 3 like injured scientists he found. Like they were on some kind of expedition and they were injured, so they take them to the infirmary, and at the infirmary they are recovering, but they have to transform the North Pole into this normal looking town, otherwise their presence will ruin the magic of Christmas. As New Year's approaches, this gets more and more difficult, and then a murder happens and things really hit the fan. So that one, this series sounds really fun. It really gives me like the Santa Claus vibes with Tim Allen, which I love. Next we have A Messy Murder, a decluttering mystery series which appeals to my type A soul, and this is by Simon Brett. This is book 4 in the series, and this is coming out on September 3rd. Our main character is Ellen Curtis, and she's a professional declutterer, and she doesn't have to like her clients to have them sort their homes out. Her next client is Humphrey Carter, and he is very grumpy. He's an aging TV personality, and he's kind of upset about the decline of his career, but a job's a job, so Ellen arrives to help with the declutter after his 80th birthday party. Unfortunately, Humphrey is dead, and all signs point to him having taken his own life, unfortunately. But did he really die in this way? His wife is adamant that he was murdered, and the more Ellen looks, the more dirt on Humphrey she digs up, and the more suspects come to light. So can she track down a killer if there even is one? And more importantly, can she keep herself from killing not only her own infuriating mother, but also her 2 grown-up children who all seem determined to destroy her peace of mind. I thought this one just had a fun premise to it, and I love the idea of a professional organizer. Absolutely love that. I need to read like an organization cozy that just appeals to my soul. Next we have kind of a country one. This is the Daw County Sisters Mysteries. It's book 2 in the series. It's called Down to Earth by Tammy D. Walker, and it's coming out on September 9th. So our main character in this is Stacy, and she is just overwhelmed right now with the preparations for fall. Her daughter is wanting to leave the small town. There's just a lot going on in her personal life. So when a local radio station like antenna falls over and like seriously injures the owner, she kind of brushes it off as like a freak accident. But then it happens again where another antenna falls, but this time on her best friend's cafe with her best friend and family inside. So she gets involved in this mystery to try to find out, is someone trying to hurt these people. Very short synopsis, but I thought it had an interesting premise, so I wanted to throw that in. And then last but not least, we're finishing with a bang with a Christmas one. This is called Poppy's Christmas Cracker, a Poppy mystery tale. It's book 4 in the series by Lee Russell. This is coming out on September 5th. So Poppy is actually the dog on the cover, which I love. And this takes place in Ashton Mead. It's just in time for Christmas, and this French patisserie opens, and some of the people in town are kind of worried about the competition, honestly. Hannah is the owner of the Sunshine Tea Shop, and she personally feels very threatened by the competition. You know, a lot of people like their tea and their sweets, so you can see the overlap there. And when the owner of the French patisserie is murdered, a lot of eyes turn to Hannah, thinking that maybe she tried to clear out the competition. So Emily is determined to clear Hannah's name along with her dog Poppy. This has the cutest cover ever. I mean, come on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy cozy mystery releases, definitely hit subscribe. I talk about cozy mysteries a lot on my channel, and I hope you'll tell me down below what are the top 3 new cozy mystery releases for September that you are most excited about. I will leave mine down below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!